grown in the last year, and even just in the short time that I found out about you. Like, you get great engagement. You really just popped up in my eyes. But again, of course, I have to stalk you on socials and do my research. I think it was 2016, and it looked like you were doing like more makeup looks, makeup challenges. What was your first introduction into that world, just beauty in general? Do you have a moment?
Yeah, so honestly, when I was in high school, I think everyone had like a YouTube phase where we were just like obsessed. Some people still are, right? Like, so I just spent like a whole summer just watching makeup tutorials. Like, I was obsessed, and then I wanted to just start doing it too. So I started like doing those like creative looks, like blue eyeshadow, funky liner, like whatever. And then I just started, yeah, like trying to get creative and do like those challenges, because why not? It's fun, and it's just makeup. It's fun, right? So I just started doing it.
Oh, that was all just like watching YouTube. Like, I totally thought you went to like beauty school or makeup school. And
well, I'm self-taught. I actually worked at Sephora, but yeah, no, I'm totally self-taught. It's all from YouTube and just like doing it on myself.
oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah,
My dad always says to me, and I think this is like a testament, he'll hold up his phone and he's like, you have a whole university in this. But it's true. I think you need the dedication and the drive to actually follow through, because there's so much out there. But again, like, the fact that you just taught yourself to do it, and like, look what it's come to even in a short couple of years.
Yeah, right? And the thing is I was really passionate about it, and then when you do it so many times, you start to get good at it, right? And then I just really, really loved it, and it started to kind of take off, and yeah.
So when you were doing makeup, did you have that in the back of your mind that you wanted to be in the influencing space as well? Or was it really just you were having fun with makeup and wanted to share those looks?
Yeah, I was just having fun. Like, I didn't really know, like, back then that influencing was even a thing, or it could be a thing, or even, like, live streaming. Like, people, it's a thing. But before, I was just live streaming in random Facebook groups, like Beauty Power and whatever. Like, just for fun. I'm doing my makeup on a Tuesday night. I'm bored. Let's hang out, girl. So, like, you know, we were just, it was just, like, just for fun, really. That's it.
That's such a common theme, though, of the people who I've interviewed or other podcasts I've listened to. I think that, again, the successful people, it always starts out as an actual passion versus how can I monetize myself really quickly? How can I just get to the top? Of course, you always have those end goals and want it to become somewhat of a business. But unless you're having fun with it and it's something you truly enjoy, I think you're just going to get burnt out and off really quickly.
Because it's a lot of work, like, especially like even with reels now and staying up with the trends, and it's like a full-time job. So if you're not like genuinely passionate about it, like you were saying, you're probably just going to burn out, or it won't be fun anymore. It'll feel like work. We don't want it to feel like work.
And there are times, even now with the podcast, where sometimes it can feel like work or you're tired. But again, even with my small following, it's like, no, I do need to edit that TikTok. And it's for like a 7-second clip. But it takes maybe half an hour. And so many people don't understand like the difference of time that goes into creating or planning.
I know. Ever since becoming a content creator, I've had like a newfound like respect, and I don't even know, like so many other words for all these like content creators, because it's like when you know what goes in like on the flip side and how much work it is, it's like, wow, like these people, like this must have taken so much time for, yeah, right, like 7 seconds, and it looks amazing, but there's a lot that goes on in the back end too. It's not just taking pictures or doing blah, blah, blah. I wish. Otherwise, everyone would do it if it was that easy, right?
No, that's so true. And a lot of times the videos that take the most effort have like the lowest engagement or the least views, and then it just like blows up and you're like,
I know. I think one of my best performing TikTok videos, it had like 400K, and it was literally of like, mind you, it was a really cool cake, but it was like a cake. It like wasn't even like anything, like, I mean, it was cute and it was whatever, but like, really?
Like all the ones where you have like amazing outfits on, where you probably are shooting at a location, like just
did all these edits. Yeah.
Oh, that's just the way things work now. This kind of leads me into my next question, though. And how has your approach changed to social media as your brands evolved? Again, from posting your makeup looks to now being more influencer fashion content. How has your mindset and approach shifted?
So just in this past like year alone, I've gotten really big on like I was saying, community over competition. And before I was just like I wasn't really about like the community. Again, I was just like kind of focusing on my thing and on my makeup. And since transitioning more into fashion, I've been like, you know what, I guess makeup is kind of harder to like collaborate with people. Maybe we could recreate the same look, or we could, I didn't really do that as much, but I found that with the fashion community, I don't know, I've just been able to meet so many amazing people, and there's just, yeah.
There's something more to draw from too, and a lot of people, I think with style, I guess with makeup too, you have your own look or own vibe, but with fashion, it's really easy to have your own fashion sense, but then make it work with others in a video.
Yeah.
Added into it as well.
And I feel like more people, like a lot of people can appreciate like makeup because it's like, yeah, like a work of art, like just on your face instead of paper or whatever. But more people, everyone wears clothes. So I guess it's just, there's a bigger audience, or there's more people that will see it. And Vancouver, I didn't know there were so many fashionistas here, but not very many people in the makeup community that I found. But there's so many amazing women people in the Vancouver fashion community. I love it. And I just started getting into here, but through TikTok and all this stuff, it's opened all these doors. Like, who even knew?
That's the plus side of social media. I always say this, but I think it's like a tool. And again, a tool can be really helpful or really hurtful.
Yeah.
Or again, your approach to it, how you want to use it and your intent with it. And I think that community over competition is a great intention to set with your content, with actually, again, creating just an inspiring, uplifting platform with how you're using clothes and how you're styling outfits.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
For, again, Vancouver, I've lived here for a while. Even when I lived in a small town, I would come to Vancouver all the time. This actually wasn't one of the prep questions, so if you don't have an answer, feel free. We can come back to it. But do you have any tips for wanting to get into like specifically the fashion space, or just for people wanting to elevate their everyday style a bit more? I know myself, it's easy to get in a slump when it's rainy all the time here. You want to be cozy, but just like to add a little extra spice to your everyday.
Yeah, so a lot of the time what I do is I'll like look for kind of rainy day inspo, or like a lot of kind of gloomy weather type of like aesthetic. And I try to, so one side of my thing is like all the princess whatever, and then the other side is like clothes for Vancouver, right? I can't just roll out in a dress. I mean, I could, but so I like looking for inspiration and kind of pulling from other people and just seeing, you know, other creators that kind of look like me, and like, hey, I absolutely love that, it looks so good on her, how can I like put my own twist on it? Or seeing what I have, like, oh, she's got like I love this black coat, I have one that's similar, like maybe let me kind of do it in my own way. I don't know if that answered the question, but hopefully.
No, you did, and I think with anything in content creation, you always have to add your own spin on it, but it's also being inspired from something. I think it's rare in anything where an idea just pops in your head and then you're good to go and everything's based around
Well, I
that.
have an example here. Like, say, I'm sure, sorry for totally cutting you off, girl. um, like, you know, the iconic, like, where everyone takes pictures in Vancouver, like, outside of Dior, where it has, like, Dior in the background. I've seen so many creators do it, and yet every single one looks different and so gorgeous in their own way. Like, it's the same location, and it's a really well-known spot, but it's like everyone that has gone there, it's like they have a different outfit, different hair, they put their own twist on it, right? So it's not like just like everyone else.
I think too, this could be a whole other conversation, but it's a spoken rule, but almost an unspoken rule that as a content creator of any sorts, it's really important that when you're taking inspiration, you're not copying someone else's ideas or content. Like yeah, exactly. And it's like whether that's giving recognition to, again, like even tagging the place where you are so people know where to find it. Like I've seen you post TikToks of like photo shoot location ideas, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, no gatekeeping.
Yeah, no gatekeeping here. But I love that because I never really had that. Like I've tried asking people, and they kind of will like beat around the bush or whatever, and I'm like, community over competition. I feel like I'm like a broken record, but like seriously, and I've seen so many other people like since I posted those videos pop up at the Fairmont, and I'm like, yes, girl, get it. Like I love that for you. Like why? It just doesn't do anything for me. It's just helps everyone. It's great.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
This
I love
is a
it.
bit of a shift, kind of. It still is very much so what we were talking about with
Mm-hmm.
fashion and influencing. But on your page too, you say you're a body positive influencer, which I love. I want to have more conversations about that on the podcast. But how has your relationship with your body changed since being a social media person, a social media figure?
Yeah, well, it can be kind of hard sometimes, obviously, and for everyone can relate to this because you always see all these perfect, like curated, good lighting, good angles, photos, right? But I always just try and remind myself that it's just like the highlights. And I personally also try to follow other body positive accounts and try to be, like you're saying, like practice what I preach, right? I also want to post, I need to get better at that, posting more and more and more body positive stuff, right? And through myself posting it and seeing other creators also getting more into the body positivity, it's helped me learn to love my own skin more. And I've been getting so many amazing like comments and DMs since starting like on any body positivity post. I swear I can't even say that. It's like a tongue twister. But I've been getting so many sweet comments from other girls with like similar body types or whatever, just like letting them know how much it's helped them to see someone else. And I feel the exact same way when I see other people with like 100K or like whatever posting and they have like imperfections or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, like that looks like me, right? So it kind of helps motivate you and keep doing what I'm doing.
No, exactly. And I love that because I know even for myself, there's times where I'll just be scrolling on social media, and it's hard not to compare as much as we don't want to compare ourselves in any way, whether it's
Hard.
looks, financial status, just anything. You're going. It's like human nature. You're going to do it, and then again, social media is the highlight reel of everyone's life.
I
So even
know.
an example, one of our friends recently was in a trip or on a trip to Dubai, and it looked amazing. But little did we know after we talked to her, she's safe and everything. She's back now. But it was this nightmare of a trip. But again, when you just see on Instagram, you're like, okay, they're probably living
How
this
would you know?
amazing
Yeah.
life. Yeah. And they're not going to tell, like, blast on social media
Yeah.
unless you have somewhat of a following that you're really transparent with.
Yeah. But still, that's
It's
not. See, it just goes to show you never know. So it's just the highlights, but it's so hard. Even though we know that, when you're scrolling, your brain's like, oh my gosh, and you're like, no, it's just the highlights. Like even me too. Like to take pictures. There's like you should see my camera roll. There's so many to get that one perfect angle with the perfect lighting and all the other ones. Yeah, you can see the rolls. You can see maybe whatever. It's not a cute picture, but every content creator can relate. Like no one looks exactly perfect like that all the time in real life. So I
no,
wish.
completely. Yeah, but again, there's no one who looks exactly like their photos, or no one who looks like that all
All
the
the
time.
time. Yeah, like I look like that at some points because I don't edit my pictures either. But it's like if you see me right now, I'm like hunched over. Like everyone has a role when they sit, right? So that's
Exactly.
okay.
This is a follow up question to you, but where would you say you are now with your body confidence or body positivity journey?
Yeah, so far I've actually lost 50 pounds. And yes, I know it was crazy, lots of work, but and I'm still on my journey. But I always like to say, like, I'm learning to love my body while on my journey to getting healthier. So I'm not gonna love my body when I get there, and I'm not gonna hate myself along the way. Like we need to learn to like. It's okay. Everyone has stretch marks. Everyone has this, that, whatever that they don't like about themselves. But we can love ourselves on the way, on our journey to like being healthier, right? And now that the gyms are back open again, we can get in and start doing stuff. But I'm really proud of how far I've come, like despite the pandemic and all the whatever, right?
No, that's a lot of hard work. And I want to stay on this conversation just for a few moments because
Yeah,
I love that there's been so much push for body positivity and body acceptance. We obviously need it in our society and we need more of it. But I feel like it's
Fenty, Rihanna, that's amazing.
yes. Oh my god, and their baby right now, her pregnancy photos is still not over. A whole other, that could be an
Yeah.
episode. But I feel like the other end of it has almost been villainized. I myself am really into fitness, wellness, and with that, I've talked about a little bit on the podcast, but I do have some aesthetic goals and
Yeah.
some goals that will just make myself feel healthier and feel better in my own body. But that doesn't mean you can't be at a place where you have goals to look a different way, but accept and also love where you're at now and appreciate your body. It's not either or.
Right, that's the thing, is like I don't hate myself, so I'm trying to change. It's like, yeah, like I'm totally happy with the way I am. I love myself, my family, my friends, my boyfriend, everyone loves me exactly the way I am. I just, for me personally, want to be healthier and, hitting the gym, eating better, doing all those things. But that doesn't mean to say, like, just because I'm plus size, like, I should hate myself or any of that weird stuff, right? We can still exactly love ourselves at all stages. It's a journey, right? So when we get to the end goal, yay, but until then,
No, it's
try to
acceptable
love
along the
ourselves.
way. Yeah, I feel like that doesn't get talked about, and I know it's hard because you're not, especially in this day and age, you're not wanting to offend anyone, but it's also that it's okay for your body to change in a way that it changes if you gain some pounds. It's okay if it changes if you lose some pounds. And
Yeah,
like if the overall goal is that like you're being kind to your body, you're being healthy, like then do what makes you feel the best version of yourself.
exactly. And as long as you're happy at the end of the day, then that's all that matters, right? So,
Exactly. You've kind of said this, but just to have this wrapped up in a pretty bow, what does it mean to you
yeah.
to be a body positive influencer?
Okay, so it's like pretty corny, but honestly, just to love the skin you're in and to just be authentic and just that it is okay to have all these things that are normal when you sit, to have rolls, acne, this, that, the next, whatever, right? And it's just, yeah, nice to be reminded on social media that everyone experiences these things and to just, that's the thing, like, just be authentic, right? Because there is so much editing and lighting and angles and this and everything. So it's kind of like a breath of fresh air to have someone in that regard be real kind of stuff.
Totally. And again, I said this earlier, but it really does shine through on your platforms when someone is being authentic and just transparent.
Yeah.
It's always going to be somewhat of a highlight reel because it is social media and we do have a look or an aesthetic that we want to achieve, but you can see the intention behind it and again how honest someone is being.
Because, yeah, like, not all my posts are body positive. Like, and I don't want to say that they're not, but some of them are, yes, my most flattering angle. But then some of them I do want to be, like, transparent and real and, like, hey, guys, a little Monday reminder, this is reality. But it just depends. It's hard because Instagram is so, like, curated and perfect like that. So,
No, totally.
yeah, balance.
Going back to more of just the content creation and the digital space, how did you find your style and your niche in social media? I think that's something that we hear all the time, like on TikTok, like how to grow a following, find your niche, but how do you navigate and do that?
So, like my username says, it's Mua Eleni, makeup artist Eleni. I originally started in the makeup, beauty kind of industry, I guess you would say. And I loved that. It was my passion. It still is. I just don't really do it as much anymore. But I did it. I did it for 4 years, 5 years, and then it kind of took off. But I feel like I plateaued. And then throughout the pandemic, I just had a lot of time on my hands. So I started getting more into fashion, and my boyfriend also had time, so we would go and take pictures together. And so I kind of segued from makeup into fashion. And so just because you picked one niche, you don't have to stick with it forever. You can, as you grow as a person, your like likes and passions and everything will change too. And I feel like my niche and my account has kind of grown along the way. And fashion and beauty are kind of like, it wasn't like a massive niche jump, so I feel like my audience kind of carried over and they kind of liked it as well. So it was good for me. But yeah, I just feel like if anyone else, like, yeah, you don't have to just commit to one niche forever. Like, I was always so scared, and everyone's like, niche down or this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it can be a lot. But I think just as long as you're passionate about what you're doing, your audience will see that and they'll just like love it too.
No, totally. And your audience grows with you. And I think the people that are really there for you, or I don't want to say the words fans, but fans of you or your content, will stick along as you develop and change your own style or own like persona online.
Exactly. Because you're not the same you were 6 years ago or whatever, right? Like,
Oh my
so.
God. Yeah, no. I feel because even the podcast, it's called All the Things. I always see things about niche down, niche down. And I'm like, my niche is that I talk about everything. Like, what do you mean?
I love it. But then it's good because there's something for everyone.
Right? That's what I tell myself as I have like a whole random different topics. But again, you see a bunch of different perspectives, so it's cool. Again,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think I have a lot of people listening who, from what I can tell, are very similar to myself in age. Again, they like following the same types of things. A lot of them are probably following you or will after listening to this.
I
And they're
hope so.
inspired. Yes, definitely. All the links, by the way, we'll say this at the end, but make sure you check out the show notes. But sorry, I lost my place. I'm going to edit this. What was my question? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, go ahead.
So everyone who's listening to this and they're inspired to, whether it is to up their own social media game or to get into the influencing space or just have an aesthetically pleasing whatever it is, what are your 3 non-negotiables you do every day or almost every day to continue with your social media presence and keep things moving?
So, one of the most important things is to engage with your community. Back when I was doing makeup, I was just kind of posting and like waiting for things to happen, and it was good content, but just posting is only going to get you so far. So, I've switched gears now into, again, getting more involved with my community and others in my niche or even in like my area, Vancouver. And so I'm just like liking and commenting on everything, and it's just helps to kind of build that relationship, right? So definitely engaging with your community and other creators. It's like it's a lot of work, but I promise you, it's so worth it. And the connections you make, like, yeah, amazing. Another thing, I like to be really active on stories. I know it's hard, and you're like, what do I even say? Like, you can even just, people love vlogs, just narrate kind of your day, what you're doing. I try to like take people out, like when we're shooting content, like here's where I'm at today, here's what's going on. People love the different locations, right? So just kind of staying relevant, for lack of better words, on stories. And I've made it like my kind of New Year's resolution. I know we're February now, but like whatever. I'm doing a pretty good job of it so far. But my New Year's resolution to do more like brand outreach. Before, I would just kind of like email here and there, and I was just waiting for like deals to fall out of the sky and them to find me, which I realized pretty quickly is not really the case unless you're lucky or you're just killing it. But yeah, I'm just trying to email like every couple days now and just be like more on top of like the admin kind of side of things.
Right.
So I think it's, yeah, you just, there's a lot, again, a lot that goes into like the kind of back ends that people don't see. Like, if it was so easy, everyone would be an influencer. It's like a full-time job. It's a lot that goes into it. So,
No, it really
but
is.
you can do it.
You can, but yes, it's a lot of work. And I think even the admin side, again, that's something people don't really talk
Works.
about. Like for you, even, what would you give someone as like a tip, like a ballpark range? Is it like 50 brands a week that you're emailing? Is it 10? Like, do you have like kind of a goal that someone could set for themselves to try to be more
Yeah,
consistent?
so, yeah, I don't have like an exact number. I honestly, yeah, maybe let's say like 30 brands a week. Like, I try and just like any brands I see like on Instagram that I'm like, oh my gosh, I follow this brand, I love their stuff, or new ones I come up with, or whatever. I try and like email them all. But the thing is you have to be like okay with rejection. I hear this from, even influencers that have like 500K, like people that are like, you know, like established and whatever. If you email like 30 of them, maybe, okay, that's a bad example, but say you email 10 of them, maybe only 2 will reply or whatever. So it's just kind of tough, but you just got to do it. And I email every couple months. Like, you don't have to just, if they don't respond to you once, you don't have to just, okay, that's so sad. Like, no, keep at it. Like, closed mouths don't get fed, right? So if you don't get it this time, that's okay. Build up your audience, build up your content, work on it, and then maybe in a month or 2 or whatever, reach out again. Like, I've reached out to a couple brands so many times, but you know what? Maybe it just didn't, the right person didn't see it at that time, or I didn't have what they were looking for at the time, or who knows, right? My engagement's gotten better now, so it just, I think you need to just go for it and just email, yeah, 20 of them, and if 2 of them reply, it's okay. At least you got 2. You just got to not get discouraged and just keep going. It's yeah.
Exactly. And again, I even experienced this with the podcast. And if I could
Yeah.
get anyone, it's just, again, keep being consistent and keep at it, not take things personally. Because you, again, if someone says no to a collab, a brand deal, whatever you're wanting to pursue with who you're reaching out with, you don't know their circumstances. So again, like you said, it might be the right person didn't see your email. Maybe they're just not in a good headspace. Honestly, especially with bigger brands, there's so many people that the one email has to go through that it's easy for it to get even lost.
Yeah. Or timing is everything too. Like, I emailed a bunch of brands around Christmas and New Year's, and it's like, okay, well, everyone's on vacay or people are kind of out of office or whatever, so it's just bad timing. Whereas maybe if you're reaching out now, oh, in time for Valentine's Day, everyone has a bunch of campaigns going on, or for the spring, or timing, right? It's just, if it didn't work out now, that's okay. Try again.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side of that, what are some non-negotiables, like 3 things you do for yourself, for your own personal well-being every day?
So I start off my mornings by journaling. I don't know if you've heard of the 5 minute journal or maybe seen it on Instagram. I feel like every that girl like video has this journal, but
I think it's good. Do you like it?
yes, I love it. It's nice to just start your day off like I know it sounds again like so like cheesy or whatever, but being grateful, like you just start your day off like on a positive note. I like it. Yeah. I've been using it for a couple months now, and it's just like it's just a nice way to start your day. So I like to journal. I also listen to music every day, and I feel like that's super basic, and everybody does that, but it's good for the soul, you know? So definitely music. And then I also, it's funny because online, and I am like an extrovert, but sometimes I just need alone time to like just not lose my mind. Like, no one talking to me, no responding to DMs, just like relaxing and existing, and you know, just yeah. Sometimes I just need to. It's hard though, because like you have your phone with you all the time, and so I need to just, you know, yeah.
Yeah. How do you set up those boundaries? Are there times where you literally have to just turn your phone off? Or is it just making a mental note of like, no, this is my time to chill out, veg out. It's okay if I don't reply to this DM or comment right away, like having to set that boundary for yourself?
Yeah, I just kind of make like mental boundaries. If honestly, if you have to turn your phone off, do what you got to do, whatever works. But I think everyone should, because it's easy to just get like, I don't know, I can get lost scrolling on TikTok for hours easily. So or if you I'm sure you can see how many like emails and DMs and whatever that there is too, so it can become a lot. I just try and, especially around the evenings, like I just will pick a time, or sometimes if I'm too tired, I'll like push it up a little bit. I don't really have an exact time every day, but it'll get to a point where I'm just like, yep, that's enough of that. I need to just do me now and get off of this and just, yeah, be a person.
No,
Because I like to vlog everything, so I need to just sometimes put it away, you know?
no, and I'm sure too with again when you have a great community and following, but you're always wanting to grow what you have, and again that being consistent and creating content is essential. But then it's like, okay, am I going on a date with my girlfriends just to go and have fun, or is this going to be content? Like, what? again, creating that boundary. And it's hard because the lines are so blurred.
I know.
But
Yeah. I try to just find people that, sorry?
I think it's trial and error of like knowing when and like following your intuition with what feels right. Is that what you found in your experience?
I feel like it depends on who I'm with. Like, my family doesn't have a choice, so I'm like, too bad this is happening. Like, we can enjoy it and do it. Let me just take a quick picture of our dinner first and then dig in. But it's definitely a lot easier if you surround yourself with like-minded people. Like recently, like Lauren, a bunch of my friends now, they'll set up a tripod in the middle of the restaurant. Like, they're just as extra as I am. So it just depends. Like, it's nice to have content friends that are just like totally on the same page and don't care. But sometimes, if you're really serious about this and you really love it, I'm just like, I just kind of do it. Like, sorry, friends and family and people. Like, you kind of know what you signed up for when you're hanging out with me. So, yeah, I feel like I can do both because like some people always say like, oh, you can't live in the moment, but I think you can. I just take 2 seconds before, snap some pics, do a little cute thing, and then enjoy it. Put the phone away right after. So I think there's like a way to do it.
Yeah, you get it done. And I agree. I think there's ways of being in the moment and enjoying things, but then also capturing it. Like, even if you weren't creating content, I know personally I love being able to look back at things, even Snapchat memories of like having those videos or photos. And what a great way to also just document your life and have those memories. You forget so much,
Oh
like,
my
as
god.
it goes on.
Yeah, that's literally what I was about to say. I'm like, I have such bad memory. It's so like, so it's nice to be able to look back, especially the Snapchat memories. Oh, what did I do last year today? Like, it's nice. Like, it brings back good memories. And then it's also like other people can live kind of vicariously through you, or it feels like you're there with me type of thing, you know?
Yeah, especially during this panini where we've all been locked
I
down.
know. Right?
I see someone doing something like remotely interesting, I'm just like, give me more. Like, I'm subscribed to this content, and I'll be like on my couch right now watching. But it brings joy. Like, so you're bringing joy to people too.
Exactly. I love
Do you,
it.
you've given a lot of great tips about being engaged with your audience, posting on stories, but do you have any like really micro, tangible tips to someone wanting to grow their audience just to get started if they're feeling overwhelmed with where to even begin?
So I think one thing that really helped me is at first when I first started like with makeup, I was posting on the same account that I had had since high school. So I had all my friends, all my family, everyone. And so I was scared to be authentically me and to post makeup because not everyone likes makeup. It's not everyone's cup of tea. No one really cares, right? And so I think step one is to start a new account so you don't have to worry about judgment from people, or you don't have to, none of that. So just start fresh, get a new account where you can separate your personal and your whatever, your passions, what you want to do, your influencer kind of thing. And then just start posting. Like, honestly, you never know who's watching. And I feel like if you just post what you love, I promise you there's someone else out there who will also love it. Like, seriously, take anything. Like, if you see people posting their art on Facebook or literally any platform, they love it, you love it. Any funny content, like, you can do this for any niche, right? So I feel like that wasn't really helpful, but it's people don't realize how important it is to maybe just differentiate those things, to just start fresh and not have like the people who really want to see you win and doing stuff will of course follow you and will whatever, but I feel like a lot of people kind of hold back or don't give it 100% because they're maybe scared of it being oh cringy or this or whatever. Girl, just do it. Like, seriously, just do it. If you don't want to do it, come find me, we do it together.
Great tip. I'm so of the same mindset, even again, just with the podcast, like starting, and I really just started telling friends about the podcast because I kind of wanted, like you said, I wanted to have this own community of people who enjoyed what I was posting and not feel filtered, to have a certain like language or vibe of the page without, again, like, not that there's anyone who specifically, but like people from high school or just people in my life who would, you know what I mean, just have something to say about it. And it was just its own place to exist and the people that wanted to join are free to join and connect.
Exactly. It's just easier. You just I don't even know what it is exactly. You can't put your finger on it, but there's just something about separating it. You just feel like it's fresh. I don't know. You don't have to worry about anyone. You can just kind of do your thing, no judgment, and then the people who want to be there will be there, kind of thing. So,
No,
yeah.
and again, I feel like through the other questions, you kind of answered this, but if we can just get like on the nitty gritty, like some real tangible tips for people. So if they're wanting to build a community, whether that's for their own social platform or even during like COVID, I know myself, I'm still relatively new to Vancouver, making a good group of friends. From the outside perspective, at least, it seems like you've done a really great job of networking and building that, like you said, community. What are some tips to just getting started and kind of almost getting over yourself to build that community or those friendships?
Yeah, so honestly, it's like just engaging. Like I never used to comment on, which doesn't even make sense, but I never used to really like go out and find other local people or other fashion people. Like now I look through some other creators' comments. I see people that look cool. I'll click on them. I'll like start engaging with them, and then they'll come check me out, and I'll be like, hey, we should shoot sometime. Or I honestly just put myself out there, and I just like, if you ask people, you'll be so shocked how many other people feel the exact same way. Like everyone's like, oh my God, Vancouver, we have no friends. Let's do something. No one's ever said no to hanging out. Nobody. Everyone wants friends. Everyone wants to hang out. And I know it's really hard to like, yeah, put yourself out there. But if you don't want to like comment on someone or DM, throw a TikTok and then let the algorithm do its thing and maybe it'll find the right people, right? Like I think you just, again, that's not really helpful, but you just really have to just do it. Like closed mouths don't get fed. I don't remember who told me this, but I have it in my head all the time. Like closed mouths don't get fed. It's true. You just have to ask. And nobody's going to say no. Everyone wants friends. Everyone wants to shoot with other cool people, go check out new cafes, even just like literally whatever, even just internet, like talking friends, like whatever, right? But yeah, I used to just try and comment on other people's stuff and build like a relationship kind of more one-on-one, which I still do. But now I've just tried sending out TikToks, and then if people are interested, they comment, and then it's shocking. Like I don't know why it's shocking, but it's amazing that like so many people are interested. I think just do it.
Same way, and people are scared. I know I'm talking personally now, but scared of making that first step. And it's like, honestly, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Someone doesn't vibe with your content, and they just say, like, no. That's literally the worst thing. And it's like, okay, then if they weren't vibing with you, then you don't want to go through.
Well, about people I will.
Yeah, exactly. Then go on to the next person that you think seems cool and that you want to hang out or create content with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the last 2 years or what's gone on, but I feel like we need to just get back in the swing of things. When I say we, I'm talking to myself here, but I feel like it's late. And it's really just taking that first step. And I think people will feel really inspired with you saying, literally, that's what you've done, and just put it out there.
It's just that simple. Like everyone thinks there's this magic formula. No, I just posted a TikTok. I don't even know what the caption was. It was like, hey, Vancouver baddies, like let's hang out and shoot. And it has like 20,000, which that's not even that much. But like when it's 20,000 people just in Vancouver, it actually is. Some girl recognized me yesterday. It was so random. I was like, oh my God, I feel like a celebrity. Yeah. But seriously, like it's just do it. Like I can't even say it enough. Like I know that sounds so stupid and weird, but just put a TikTok out there. Any other cool people, you'll get comments, or otherwise, I don't know. I'll try and organize stuff and we can all be friends and whatever. But I know it's really hard. It took me a long time to get to this place where I could just put myself out there and reach out and like not care. But exactly, what's the worst that can happen? Nothing. You're going to keep doing exactly what you're doing. You're not going to hang out. Like, you're exactly where you were 2 seconds ago, so that's okay. 12 other people will totally want to hang out, so
nothing to lose by just putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and people, look what can happen. People are so in the same boat. Like people are just waiting for someone to make the first move, so just do it. Like Just do it. Nike.
I was gonna say, if they can make millions off of that slogan, we can use it to inspire us to connect and build a community.
Mm-hmm.
For my last question,
Yeah.
I feel like I have a lot. Like honestly, I'm like, okay, like let's get coffee after. I wish we were doing this in person, but I always like to ask everyone what's a product, resource, book, TV show, literally anything that you're loving and that you want to recommend to all the listeners.
Okay, well, I don't have a product in mind at this moment, but if we're talking TV shows, I'm absolutely obsessed with Emily in Paris Dynasty. So if you haven't seen them, you need to. They're so binge worthy. I'm obsessed. Like, have you seen them?
No, I need to watch Emily in Paris. It's been on my. I feel like I'm totally that target audience. I know I'll get sucked in, so I'm waiting until I have time to just binge it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, you would love it. I love it. And so many people, like my audience, like everyone, it is definitely like your vibe. Like she's so cool and like relatable. I don't know. I love it. I think it's just totally binge worthy. Everyone needs to watch it. And then if you watch it, we can come talk about it and bond over it. So there we go.
I'm obsessed though. That song is like trending on TikTok, and it's like the bonsoir, blah blah blah. I'm like the amount of serotonin I get when that song comes on, and I haven't even seen the show.
Yeah, girl, watch it. You'll love it.
Before I let you go, this is your time to plug everything. Where can people find you in socials? How can they get a hold of you? What are your handles?
Yes, so my handle's everywhere. Keep it nice and simple. You can find me the same everywhere as MUA Eleni, Mua Eleni. That is me. Yes, follow me there. If you drop some comments, like I said, I'm all about the community. I'm a girl's girl. Like, I love, honestly, boys, everyone, like, if you support me, I'm going to support you, right? So I just love it. Like, if you follow me, give me some love, I will return it. Like, we got to support each other. I've gotten so much further this way. I love it.
Definitely. Yeah, join the community. Everything will be in the show notes. So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, all the links will be there. Well, Eleni, thank you so, so much. Again, I wish we were in this person. You're welcome to come
I
back on
know.
any time. Hopefully next time we'll actually be in person. But let's catch up when I need like a hot pink outfit to go with the vibe and we can do a photo shoot.
Yeah, girl, let's do it. Well, thank you so much for having me. This is actually my first podcast, so I'm so happy it was with you.
Me too.
Have a good time, yeah.